Well, I think with the advent of the American and the SEPA instant payments, you're going to have very large geographical areas. So the numbers suddenly get bigger than they have been in the UK or Denmark or Poland or any of the other territories that have done it. It also sort of more internationalises the whole thing. But I think what people are starting to realise now is that instant payments is just the beginning of quite a long journey, and there are other areas. In Europe, you've got SEPA and you've got the API access to accounts, and it really is going to force particularly banks that have got a fairly large legacy heritage to deal with to move from the old batch systems into actual real time, which they've been kind of loath to do for all sorts of good reasons. Well, that's interesting, yeah. Well, for one thing, they don't have so many old legacy systems, so they're able to, as they were with mobile payments in the early days of 10 years ago, so they're able to move almost in a greenfield sort of way. And there were some very good examples I've met here talking about Ghana and Nigeria particularly. So they're able to move much more quickly and to take very largely cash economies and put them into sort of money-light economies, which is a really interesting change for them. I think we are seeing banks now use the rails of instant payments, or whatever you want to call it, as a way of delivering better systems and better services, and using that to differentiate themselves on a common platform. We certainly saw that happen in consumer payments through mobile phones and apps and so forth. Everybody's got an app. It'd be impossible to do banking without one these days. But we're now seeing, and we've seen quite a bit of evidence that there's a lot of the money is moving towards investing in payments for corporates using instant payment type formats. So that's going to be an interesting development over the next year or two, I think. From an event like this, being in Africa and meeting people from emerging markets, it's quite interesting to see the differences there. One of the messages I was going to bring along was that the instant payments world is really quite fragmented, and I've learned it's more fragmented than I ever thought possible, and that's going to be a big challenge as it becomes the norm in domestic payment schemes and then spreads out into international harmonisation and interoperability issues, when it will. Some of the mistakes that are being made right now will probably start paying out and cause problems further down the line.